Are you an investor or a trader? The difference is everything, and most people get it dead wrong. If you're betting on AI's future, well, you better know which one you are. Are you an investor or are you a trader? They are not one and the same. In fact, not even close. Traders look to profit on micro movements in the market. Tick-by-tick action that's as much about speed as strategy. They're the sprinters of Wall Street. They trade momentum, emotion, and chaos. And when they do it well, they make it look easy. Investors, on the other hand, well, they play the long game. They focus on fundamentals, cash flow, and structure. They don't care what the tape does every 15 minutes. They care about where the company will be in 5 or 10 years from now. They're the marathoners. And here's the thing. Even the smartest people I know sometimes forget which race they've signed up for. I've seen seasoned investors turned into panic day traders at the first sign of volatility. And I've seen traders pretend to be long-term investors just because they got stuck in a losing position. Many years ago, I sat down with one of the most successful investors I have ever met. He was a nonagenarian real estate tycoon who had built his fortune the old-fashioned way, one property at a time. His portfolio was massive. His style? Unassuming. No hedge fund flash, no private jet, just a well-worn ledger, a sharp pencil, and a lifetime of street smarts. I showed up to our meeting with charts, spreadsheets, and a stack of graphs thicker than a porterhouse at Peter Luger's. He, on the other hand, spent the first 20 minutes talking about the hot dogs at his country club and introducing me to the waitstaff. I sat there thinking, what are we doing here? When I finally asked how he picked stocks, he smiled and he said, Mark, I'm a real estate guy. When I buy a building, I don't care what it's worth tomorrow. I don't even know what it's worth tomorrow. I care what it will be worth 10 years from now. He went on to explain that he never obsessed over daily price fluctuations. When he bought a building, he looked for value that he could add, new tenants, better management, a neighborhood on the rise. And then he waited sometimes for years. Stocks, he said, are dangerous because they make it too easy to know too much. You can check the value every second, every day, and you start thinking the price is the business. It's not. The business is the business. The price is just the weather. Those words have lived in my head ever since I heard him speak them. And they matter right now because we're living through a market that is testing everyone's patience and discipline. AI stocks are on fire. So are valuations. And every time they wobble, the headlines scream, bubble. We hear it from the big bank bosses too. David Solomon and Ted Pick both warned this week that valuations looked stretched. Thank you for that blinding glimpse of the obvious, guys. Michael Burry even popped up. That's Mr. Big Short himself, and he announced that he was buying put options on Palantir and Nvidia. It was all the market needed to hear. The street panicked, tech sold off, and just like that, the everyone's an AI genius party turned into another round of, see, I told you it was over. Let's be clear here. The AI story is not over. It's just under construction. Look around. Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, Oracle, they're pouring billions into data centers, servers, electricity, and network infrastructure. This is the modern equivalent of laying railroad tracks in the 1800s or stringing fiber optic cables in the 1990s. It's not about tomorrow's trading session. It's about building the platform that will drive the next decade of productivity. But here's the catch. Just like any massive build-out, it's expensive, messy, and filled with delays. Cost overruns, permit issues, supply bottlenecks. Sound familiar? That's construction. And right now, AI is still in the building stage. You don't get revenue before the walls go up. You don't collect rent until the building's open. And you don't get to sell until the market recognizes what you have built. Yet too many investors are losing their nerve halfway through the project. Remember the dot-com era? The internet didn't die because of pets.com. The infrastructure built then, servers, fiber, software, that became the foundation of everything we use today. The same is true for AI. Some companies will fail, for sure. Others will define the next 20 years. So ask yourself, has your thesis changed? Has the need for compute power, automation, or intelligent systems evaporated into thin air? Has the world decided it's done with productivity? Come on, guys. Of course not. Markets don't move on reality. They move on emotion. And if you're an investor, you have to learn to tune that out, because patience without diligence is just waiting around. You have to stay engaged, study the companies, watch CapEx, and understand where the money's actually being spent. When you see Microsoft and Google building data center at mind-bending speeds, that's not speculation. That's conviction made visible. The real question is whether you have the endurance to see it through. My old real estate friend once told me, "Mark, the problem with most investors isn't that they buy the wrong buildings. It's that they sell the right ones too early." Those are words to live by. And he was talking about endurance, staying power, the willingness to see value mature. Because investing isn't about timing the market. It's about time in the market. And here's the hard part. We all want results now, but that's not how compounding works. Real wealth builds quietly, brick by brick, one floor at a time. If you're invested in the AI ecosystem, don't let every downtick shake your conviction. Markets will punish you for being impatient long before they reward you for being right. So ask yourself one question. Are you building a portfolio, or are you chasing a ticker? Because one is work and the other, well, that's just noise. So your truth bomb for today is this. Investing means building the building, and trading means running up and down the scaffolding.